Welcome back to another episode of Papi TV. I know I've been gone for a while. Please forgive me. It's been a few months now, and as you can see right off the rip from my background, it's definitely different. Don't mind that portable closet in the back. I've moved from where I was at before. In case you guys did not know, I did lose my job working for Nike. They closed my store, so I ended up getting laid off, and I don't want to bore you out with bullshit, but I did end up moving back home to Patterson. I ended up getting an apartment with my sister and my mom, so we kind of just did our thing. And I've been here for the past few months. Um, Also, you can tell. I don't know if you can tell from the video itself. I've also lost a good amount of weight. My face doesn't look as puffy anymore, as you can tell. I lost about 36 pounds, and I've been on a crazy, crazy health journey. If my voice sounds a little nasally, forgive me. I am coming off of being sick. It has been Black Friday weekend, so it has been a little bit hectic for me, especially working in retail. I ended up, getting a job at the Gap and also working part time at Adidas. And yes, I know I went with the competitor because I have my personal reasons why I did that. But overall, it feels good to be back in the area, back to where I grew up, which is Patterson, and it's pretty fun. Great, it's great to see all my friends again. Hearing those cars going crazy outside. I don't know if you hear that, but it feels good to be back around people that I'm familiar with, an area I'm familiar with, and it just feels good. But overall, I hope to be more consistent with these videos. I think it's time for me to actually push this a little bit harder. I know I said it before, but I think it's time for me to actually push this a little bit harder. Um, from the last episode, a couple of the videos that I clipped, some of them went crazy, 50,000 views on TikTok. And, TikTok has been very, very generous with me lately. As I've just been talking about retail and the ups and downs of retail, the dark side of retail, and all that nonsense, all that bullshit. So it has been generous to me. Gained over 100 and something followers within a week or two, and it's been great. But overall, I wanted to come on here. We're gonna chat a little bit about a couple things going on. Just retail wise. I want to talk about retail. As you know, once again, we just got through Black Friday weekend, and it was a little bit hectic. As it always is, especially working in retail. Me personally, I don't mind it. I'm kind of used to it. Been working in retail 15 years, so it kind of is what it is. But at the same time, it's still tiring. It's still exhausting, especially working two jobs is exhausting when you're working from 6 a.m. all the way to midnight. Like it's exhausting. However, um, I want to clear the air for a lot of consumers and people who are customers who go consistently shop at stores, and always expect these big deals for Black Friday. There are no Black Friday deals. Once again, there are no Black Friday deals. Every Black Friday deal starts 2 weeks before Black Friday. That is just a given. I don't understand after so many years why a lot of you regular consumers think that there's going to be like some doorbusters or like some crazy sales or some crazy discounts on things. Like, no, there's nothing. Like, the sale started 2 weeks prior. And I think that there's a misconception on, like, I guess the way it was like 20 years ago, 30 years ago, to where you get these amazing low ball deals. And people were running into stores. Stores were open 24 hours to make these crazy ass numbers. But that's not what it is anymore. I think companies have come to understand that the Black Friday deal should start 2 weeks before Black Friday. And every now and then, maybe a certain company or two will probably have like those doorbusters or whatever the case may be. But there's really no sales. I don't know why you guys still haven't gotten it through your head that there's no fucking sales on Black Friday. It already started. Um, you get a better deal online for Cyber Monday. I don't think people understand that. You get a better deal online. It always has been like that. Um, and this is not to like shame anybody for what what they think they should have gotten as a deal, but it doesn't hit the same it used to, and you need to get past that. You know what I'm saying? But overall, Did we make goals? Did we hit quotas? Did we hit numbers? Of course. I think Black Friday is that day of the year where a lot of companies kind of bank on to make a lot of their lost revenue over the year back, or the quarter, or quarters. But I mean, it's always crazy, you know. One thing I did see that was very telling. There was a lot of younger kids who came at 7, 8 in the morning to come shopping. I don't know if there's like a resurgence in like the companies are doing the right thing by, promoting to kids, but something I saw a lot. A lot of kids were out there really trying to get these deals and get these purchases in. But those kids, I think they're seeing something that we're not, or the companies are seeing something that us workers are not, by promoting to the youth. But it was a lot of young kids, and it was beautiful. I think it was great. It's great seeing the youth out and about, being a part of these things, because majority of the time is usually just the parents, a bunch of old people. But um yeah, Black Friday was definitely a day. I worked from 6 a.m. to 4. Then from there at 5 o'clock, I got to my next job, and then I ended up getting sick. That's just what happens. Yeah, there's nothing really I can do. So overall, Black Friday has definitely been one of those days of the year where either I get sick or I'm just overly exhausted to where I have to take a couple days off. But we're here, we're doing what needs to get done. But to everybody who's shopping for Black Friday, shout out to y'all for coming out. But at the same time, there's really nothing. Like I don't understand why y'all haven't understood that part yet. Like there's nothing for y'all. There's no sales. Sales started 2 weeks prior. But yeah, that's just the case on that. Retail is definitely a different monster, man. I don't think people understand. Working in retail for 15 years, right? Working in retail for 15 years, people think that we're like kind of like doormats or something. The way that people just kind of take advantage of us, and the way that people just treat us is like I feel like yeah tend to forget that, like, we are human. Like, I don't understand why people think that we don't have feelings or something. Like, by y'all throwing fits like little fucking children, that y'all gonna get your way. At the end of the day, right? If you're wrong, you're wrong. Like, you need to hold yourself accountable, right? As retail workers, we know when we're wrong. Like, me personally, as a manager, I know when I'm wrong. I know when I've done something wrong, and I hold myself accountable to that part. But I think that people need to start holding themselves accountable. I've had consumers come back and apologize because they know that they were in the wrong, and I appreciate those people. But I think there's certain people who think that the world revolves around them, and if they don't get their way, it's the end of the world for them. To those people, I say, go fuck yourself, respectfully. Like, I don't respect you. I don't respect you. I never will respect you, and I will always look at you weird and different every time you come back into my store. And that's just that. That's just that. I've had many moments where a lot of my associates or cashiers get hassled, or get treated in such a manner where I've had to step in and kind of like be the aggressive one, because these consumers and these customers are so aggressive and so belittling that they think that no one's gonna stand up to them. Me, the type of leader I have been and the type of manager that I have kind of worked my way to be over the years, is I'm always going to stand for my people. This whole phrase about the customer is always right, that shit is dead. I've been saying this, the customer is never right. You guys are never right. Stop thinking that you're right. That's an old fashioned quote that you guys fucking used for years, 4 years, to get y'all way, to belittle customer service workers. And that's it. Like, go fuck yourself, respectfully. And there's been many a times where I've told consumers they can go fuck themselves. Obviously not full blatantly, but I've told them, like, you know what? Have a great day, be safe. God bless. Like, what else do you want from us? Like, you want us to jump hurdles to make things work for you. It doesn't work that way. And if that's how it works in your household and that's how you treat your children, like, it's not like, it's a dictatorship, not a democracy. When I work at my job, everybody has a right to feel the way that they want to be. Everybody has an opinion. It's not a dictatorship. Everybody's allowed to have some type of free will because we're all human. But these fucking consumers always think that they're in the right. You're not. You're not, and you never will be. So I think that again, that whole stigma of the customer always being right, that shit is bullshit. It always been bullshit, and it's just an old time quote that people still try to use nowadays to I guess like justify their fucking childish ways and justify their fucking brattiness. I'm not gonna do it. I ain't with it. Never have been, and I won't allow it. But I think that that's just something that a lot of people who never worked in customer service need to understand, that if you really think that way, do a year, 2 years in customer service, and then you tell me if everything that you're saying as a customer is correct when it's not. And it's not, and it never will be. Now, can we have a dialogue and speak about how we can go about things? Of course, I've had that many of times with customers who have been irate or just feel like things are unfair. I completely understand. Let's talk about it. Let's see how we can work around it and make you happy. But for you to think that I have to do something because I have to, doesn't work that way. Doesn't work that way, and I will never belittle myself to make a consumer or a customer happy ever again in my fucking life, because I'm done with that. I'm done with that. Right? And in that case, that's just how customer service jobs are, especially working in retail. It's just you there's a lot of good, but there's also a lot of bad, and you just got to kind of deal with both sides of the coin, and it's fine. Um, some things that I've also been seeing online a lot. Shout out to all my Pokemon collectors. I personally I have Pokemon cards, right? I have Pokemon cards. I have some. I haven't been able to collect any because right now we're at a point where just even trying to get any fucking booster packs is it's almost non-existent. You have to wait online. I'm not doing that. Last time I waited online for anything was for a pair of Raptor 7s, and that was like back in like fucking 2012, and I'm never fucking doing that again. I'm never waiting online for something. If I can't get it, I'm good on it. But I really want to talk about scalpers and resellers, right? I don't have any issues with resellers or scalpers, right? Get your money however you can get it. I support anybody who is self-employed, who is doing this to make their bread. I get it 100%. You make your bread however you make it. I'm for it. Get that bread, my boy. Make that bread however you need to make it. But here's the thing. Do not act like a fucking child when you don't get your way. And I've been seeing a lot of videos online about scalpers being upset because they're not allowed to buy out the whole fucking stock, right? So now people are being limited to a certain amount that they can purchase. And some people are just seeing it as unfair. No, it's unfair for you because you can't take advantage of the system. And you can bring as many people as you want. You can bring your boy, your friends, your girlfriend, your fucking grandma, your dog, for all I care. I don't give a fuck. But the thing is, y'all always want to be bigger than the program. It doesn't work that way. It never has worked that way. And I don't think it will ever work that way. There loopholes to a lot of shit? Of course. There's always loopholes to everything. But the thing is this, right? Y'all act like little bitches and pussies whenever y'all don't get y'all way. Tell me if I'm wrong. Tell me if I'm wrong. I dare one of you fucking scalpers to tell me I'm wrong. And if I'm wrong, then so be it. I need you to prove to me that I'm wrong. Because just from looking at these videos, you see people approaching y'all and telling y'all a bunch of scumbags. Y'all can't even let the kids get a hold of it. Like, I've never met grown as men in their 30s and 40s doing the shit that y'all are doing. Like, tell me, does that make sense? Y'all are fucking weird, have always been weird. And I'll put it like this, right? This is how I know a lot of the reselling shit is just like they're bouncing all over the place. Sneakers was a thing. Like, people were reselling sneakers like crazy right after the pandemic. Before the pandemic and right after the pandemic, there was a good amount of period where everybody was like selling shoes. Like, it was like hotcakes. Everybody wanted something. Once the shoe game started dying because they saw these companies were fucking flooding the market with a whole bunch of shoes in different colors and restocking on the same thing. A lot of the resellers that I used to see come into my Nike store are now waiting outside of Target and Best Buy and Walmart and GameStop for fucking booster packs. Grown men waiting for booster packs. I don't like I said, make your money however you're gonna make your money. I'm never gonna have a problem with being self-efficient or being an entrepreneur or being self-employed, whatever. Get your money. But it's almost like it's disgusting. It's disgusting because y'all throw fits when y'all don't get your way. And it's always the fat, sloppy ones. It's always the fat, sloppy ones who probably have stink ass breath, who walk in there with the same Yeezy slides, that fucking the whole bottom of it. You're basically walking on nothing at that point. It's just always the same stink ass ones who smell like hella weed. Like y'all are sloppy, bro. Sloppy, nasty. And as far as things go, right? Is the Pokemon thing gonna die out soon? Of course it is. Of course it is. They're selling the boxes at GameStop for $200 and y'all are having a problem with it. You're mad because they're selling it at market value, which is $200. And you don't want the market value, you want the retail price. Guess what, buddy? Welcome. Welcome to what it feels like to having to fucking buy a box of Pokemon cards from you fucking pieces of shit. Why do I have to pay $200-$300 for some Pokemon cards when I could have got it for retail at $60? You guys are flooding the market and overpricing everything. Your shit is gonna die soon, and when it dies, you're gonna jump onto the next fucking wave because that's what leeches do. Leeches leech onto anything to survive. You guys are fucking weird and will always be weird. Again, like I said, I know resellers who abide by rules, who do their thing and have a flourishing business because they know how to appeal to the public or appeal to the people who are willing to purchase from them. But some of y'all are just greedy, greedy. And it's nasty. The gluttony of you fucks. You guys disgust me. This is why I hate scalpers. You all look the same. Fat slobs, pimples. Yes, some of y'all dress like fucking like what? Like y'all these fucking fly ass. No, bro. Y'all are nasty. I'll slap the fuck out of one of y'all if y'all ever think that y'all can ever disrespect me if I'm waiting for some fucking Pokemon cards. See, the thing is, some of y'all have never been beaten up. Some of y'all have never been jumped. And that's okay. That's okay. I get it. Some of y'all have never been told no by your parents, and that's okay. But reality is going to check you. Life is always going to check you. And that's why I say y'all are fucking disgusting. And if y'all don't like it, y'all can suck my dick respectfully. And I say that with all of my chest. I fucking hate you scalpers. Every last one of y'all. But what do I know? I just do me, right? But overall, man, it like I said, retail is not for the weak. I think everybody who has no people skills or have no social skills should definitely do like a year, 2 years of retail. There's a lot of funny characters that you meet throughout the years. There's friendships that you actually even end up building with people who you work with over the years, and it's beautiful. I think retail is definitely one of those things where it requires a lot of you to kind of play this facade of being this good person, or this like being the facade of the greatest customer service person that you can be. It's exhausting. I don't think people understand how exhausting it is to work in retail. It's almost like a mind game all the time. You have to put up this front of being happy all the time, and making sure that you're helping the consumer, making them feel great and making them feel good about themselves. When in reality, we really don't fucking care about y'all. But yeah, man, retail is not for the weak. Not for the weak. There's even, I remember back in my early 20s doing these fucking 12-hour shifts 6 days a week to make money. It was never worth it. It was never worth it. Never took days off because as growing up as an immigrant, you always was told if you take a day off, you'll end up getting fired, which is not the case, obviously, right? Immigrant parents grow up with this mentality of like you never take days off, you have to put food on the table, blah blah blah. Not anymore, baby. I'm a citizen. I'm an American citizen. We're gonna get this bread, but I need rest. I need to take some time off. Um, but yeah, man, I don't I don't think people get it. I don't think people will ever get it, and that's okay. I don't expect people to get it. Um, and I've had my fair share of nasty customers in retail. I remember one time this one lady had the audacity to be like, "See, that's why you work in retail," and I was like, "Yeah, and that's why you're getting kicked out." So who's really the loser here? So I feel like y'all try to belittle us when in reality, like we just don't care. We don't care, and we are very sarcastic in retail. We don't give a fuck about anything y'all have to say. Um, and sometimes you meet stupid ass fucking customers throughout your retail career. You know, like how am I working at Nike, but you're asking me for Timberlands or Crocs or Pumas? It doesn't make any sense. But what do I know? Again, like I said, I don't get it. Um, but yeah, retail is not for everybody. Customer service work is not for everybody. I applaud everybody who works in retail, anybody who works in the food service industry. That's a hellhole of a job. Like people don't understand. Like I feel like people forget you don't fuck with somebody who's serving your food. Know what I mean? That's as far as I gotta go. You don't fuck with somebody who's serving you your food. Um, but again, I've always learned to be very respectful, always show kindness to people. And I think that that's why I've always had such a fruitful career in retail. I've had people say that as a manager, I do a great job, whether it's in the store or even customers. I'm always there to make sure that the customer is good. But I match energy. I match energy, and they don't like when I match energy. Mm-mm. And that's okay. I'm not there to be your friend. I'm there to do my job and make sure I'm taking care of the business, and making sure I'm taking care of my people that work for me. So, um, but yeah, I hope everybody had an amazing Thanksgiving. I hope everybody had a great Black Friday. I hope everybody got some amazing things. I hope everybody's purchasing on Cyber Monday. Hope everybody is just doing great. Again, we're about to hit 1,000 followers on TikTok. So shout out to everybody who is just showing love on TikTok. I want to get to 100 followers on YouTube. I just have to be more consistent with it, but that's on me. That's on me. And that's fine. But overall, I appreciate everybody. I hope everybody is doing well. And once again, man, this is Papi TV. I'm your boy, Papi Johnson. Thank you for tuning in. I will catch you guys on the next episode. And yeah, continue to be safe. Make sure to hug your loved ones, call your loved ones, and kiss your loved ones. But besides that, y'all take care. And I'll catch you guys in the next one.